around Australia. Now, look, for what it's worth, yes, my background's Italian. I've got Italian parents, but I'm Australian born. So I'm a staunchly proud Aussie, even though my mates call me Wog to remind me I'm not welcome, right? And the thing is, I love this country and I love the sense of humour, but there's always the us and them mentality. And Aussies love to give it to us Italians, you know? But I've pretty much got an answer for everything, you know? For example, an Aussie bloke said to me the other day, how come all you Italians own 10 houses? I said, I don't know, man. I think it's because we've all got jobs, right? And then I said, by the way, your rent's late. Now, the thing is with that, right, he got the shit and he goes, yeah, it's got nothing to do with jobs, it's because all you bloody Italians are in the mafia, all right? And I said, hey, ease up, son. Don't know enough about the mafia. I've got a theory that Australians could never have a mafia of their own because, for a start, it's organised crime. I reckon Aussies have enough trouble organising a friggin' barbecue, man. Have you been to them? Like, don't get me wrong, the Italians, we go overboard, right? We always cook too much food. Like, there's like, you know, 4 people and 16 cows cooking at an Italian barbie, right? But you go to an Aussie barbecue and they're all the same, you know? They plan it like this. All right, so we've got 15 people coming over, so we'll need 15 bits of bread and 15 sausages, and if that bloody Jono has 2, then someone misses out. But we'll need 48 slabs, right? Now, that's how that works all the time, right? Now, the thing is, my personal feeling, though, is like with all the different ethnic groups in Australia, you guys probably think there's a little bit of racism around. And look, to a point, you're right. Because I went into a fish and chip shop one time, and as I'm walking out, this Aussie bloke walks in with his little boy, and he says to his little kid, let's go into the greasy wog shop, right? Now, I didn't care. I thought, big deal, right? When the little 4-year-old kid repeated it, I got pissed off. I said, dude, that's not cool. You know, this kid doesn't know any better. Why don't you give him a chance to learn to grow up and hate wogs for himself, right? And this bloke turned to me and he goes, what are you going to do about it, Wog? I said, I don't know, my cousins aren't here. But the thing is, right, we aren't racist, OK? We are not a racist nation. I stand by that wholeheartedly. We don't give a shit where you're from. We don't care about your background. You're welcome to come to Australia and live a life and have a go, as long as you don't come here by boat. Man, do we hate boats. I don't know what's going on with that, but every time we've got immigration problems, it's because of boats. Have you noticed that? I mean, in the 80s and 90s and today, we get the shits with the Middle Eastern boat people. In the 70s and 80s, it was the Southeast Asian boat people. In the 50s and 60s, it was, you know, the Italians and the Greeks all came by ship and there were problems. And before that, Chinese people came by boat. And in 1770, the Aborigines hated boat people. Do you know what I'm saying? It's been going on forever. You know, and if you think that we should be a bit more sympathetic towards, you know, these refugee people, well, I agree, we should be, right? Imagine if we became refugees. How do you reckon that'd pan out? Imagine if 20 million Aussies had to leave Australia because there was an invasion of Indonesians, 200 million of them. Scary shit, hey? 200 million Indonesians versus 20 million Aussies. That's a ratio of 10 to 1. All right, fair enough, they're only half the size of us, but it's still 5 to 1, all right? Now, where would we go? New Zealand, of course. You're all thinking, I don't want to go to New Zealand. They do weird shit with animals. Not true. I think New Zealand would be the best country in the world to be in if there was a war on. Why? It's a very hard place to invade. Do you know why? Because lots of bouncers live there. I mean, think about it. Can you imagine? If you're an army group, you're trying to invade New Zealand, you get to the beach, you get on the shore, and there's a big married bloke going, sorry, mate, not with those shoes. And how about the notion that the New Zealand government would have to build detention centres for Aussie refugees? Now, my guess is they wouldn't need to build them with very high fences because we're very lazy. We're not going to escape, are we? I reckon these would be the world's first refugee detention centres with witches' hats all the way around.